Have you ever used something like this to find direction? Perhaps you've used something like this to attach papers to the refrigerator. Or maybe you've played with a toy or a game that uses these. What do all these things have in common? They're all examples of magnets. What exactly are magnets? What do they do? And how are they useful? During the next few minutes, we're going to explore these questions and others as we explore magnets. This is a magnet. It's made of metal, but it's not just any ordinary piece of metal. You observe. What do you observe when the magnet comes near the paperclip? The paperclip is attracted to the magnet and is pulled toward it. Magnets are unusual in that they attract some metals. Metals that contain a material called iron are attracted to magnets. But metals that do not contain iron, such as copper and brass, are not attracted to magnets. Other things like this wooden pencil, this plastic ball, and this piece of cloth are not attracted to magnets. Magnets come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are shaped like bars. Others are U-shaped, while others can be thin, like this magnet, used on this refrigerator to hold up papers. Take a close look at this magnet called a bar magnet. Notice how one end is red and the other end is silver. The ends of the magnet are called poles. The red end is called the North Pole, and the silver end is the South Pole. The poles are where the pull of the magnet is strongest. If you take the North Pole of a magnet and place it near the South Pole of another magnet, they pull toward each other. Opposite poles are attracted to each other. You observe. What happens when the North Poles come near each other? The two North Poles push away or repel each other. Like poles repel each other. We already learned that magnets attract metal objects that contain iron. Why is that? Magnets produce a force called magnetism. You can't see magnetism, but you can see its effect on other things. Magnets create an area of magnetic force around them called a magnetic field. By looking at these iron filings attracted to this magnet, you can get an idea of the extent of the magnetic field. Magnetic fields have the ability to pull through solids like glass and even through liquids. Earth even has a magnetic field that extends into space. Magnets are fun and useful things. For example, people use them to attach things to metal objects. Another place where you might commonly see magnets are on the inside of cabinet doors to help them stay closed. Perhaps you've seen a device like this. It's a compass. A compass needle consists of a magnet that points north. This helps people orient themselves while hiking or traveling. Another example of a use of magnets is in this scrapyard. Fascinating, huh? This large machine is lifting heavy pieces of metal with a type of magnet called an electromagnet. An electromagnet has electricity running through it. This makes it very powerful. It's so powerful that it can lift large pieces of metal. These are just a few examples of magnets at work. During the past few minutes, we explored some of the fascinating features of magnets. We began by seeing how magnets attract metals that contain iron. And we saw that magnets come in different shapes and sizes. Next, we took a closer look at magnets to learn that they have ends called poles, where the pull is strongest. We observed that opposite poles are attracted to each other, and that like poles repel each other. The area around magnets, called the magnetic field, was highlighted. Last, we investigated some of the interesting ways that magnets are used. This concluded our fascinating exploration of magnets. Fill in the correct word to complete the sentence. Number 1. Magnets attract metals that contain. Number 2. The ends of magnets are called. Number 3. Opposite poles each other. Number 4. Magnets produce a force called. And number 5. This uses a magnetic needle to point north.